Hello, guys. Welcome to the seventh episode of Let's Talk by Verified. So, after the beautiful ending of Champions League, Bayern lifting a trophy, we are here to discuss the transfer market. And we have on board with us Hardik Sharma, pretty usual person, Shrey Joshi,
Okay.
and Noam Shah. So, I think this is one of the good times when we talk about transfers and teams looking out for bright players for the next season. So I think we all know Chelsea is pretty much dominating the transfer market as of now. Quite big speculations, quite big transfers. So I think Hardik would better explain it to all of us. So yes, Hardik, your key,
Yes.
your good words for Chelsea.
Yes. So obviously we know that it's a good time for Chelsea because after the transfer ban and everything, it is expected from them to be quite a lot active during this period of time. And obviously they need a lot of rebuilding for the team. So that's why Lampard is very active during these days. And if we start with the first signing, like initially Timo Werner and Hakim Ziyech were already signed, and most probably they will be playing during the friendly games which are just before the season. Like today we have a match against Britain, so most probably Hakim Ziyech and Timo Werner will start,
Right.
giving a promising start and are most favorable for the starting 11. And the next big signing what Chelsea saw was Thiago Silva. Obviously we needed a good defender because we saw very defensive malfunctions last season. So obviously Thiago Silva is like 36 years of age and signing a 1 year deal, that too for free. It will be a bit competitive for Thiago Silva because League One was, I don't know, that much competitive, but PL is a bit more active, a bit more strong, like it's a bit more fearful and everything. So his skills will be tested. And next, what the another signing was Maling Sarr, left center back. So he's just a young player. So most probably maybe Chelsea will test him or maybe sent out on a loan. So it depends on Frank Lampard how he uses him. Next was Ben Chilwell. He also came for 50 million and sent left back, and I guess it was a good signing as well because defensively Chelsea would have to go strong for this season. And the major and the major signing, one another major signing that is just on the verge of happening is Kai Havertz. All the
Right.
deals have been made, the wages have been decided with Bayer Leverkusen, but the only thing that is holding is that some delay because of the Bayer Leverkusen is signing Patrick Schick, and as soon as he comes, Kai Havertz will be heading towards Chelsea doors. So that's the main players that have come to Chelsea until now. And speculations about Kepa being next season in Chelsea or not is a true question and is a big question because Chelsea is being linked with Oblak and also Edward Mendy, uh, keeper for 16 million. I don't not lot of people have heard his name, but so yeah, let's see what goes ahead in Chelsea's favor. But I think so that Chelsea is currently the most active club that we'll see during the transfer window.
Yes, that is true. I
Yeah.
think, and thank you for such beautiful insights about Chelsea's transfer. I hope Shrey would be jealous because United hasn't, stepped into transfer market as of now. And yes, so Shrey, moving on to you, updates for for transfers against United.
Yeah, it is like any other season for United. It is the same story every season. You have a lot of targets at the start of the season. You look up to them, and then you hear the silent voices of hopes crashing as we get nothing. But yeah, it is something. There's something on with this person Ed Woodward. He doesn't get deals done with. We obviously we're looking to sign Sancho, but we haven't got that deal over the line. Basically, the fees is the major issue. United are not willing to pay that 120 million price of Sancho, whereas at the same time, Dortmund is also not lowering their price. They are very rigid at that. They'll sell only at that price, and their CEO has openly made statement that he'll be staying with Dortmund. There is no chance of him leaving and all stuff like that. But yeah, there are also other targets. But the United has a strategy of finishing one deal at a time and then moving on to other deals. So I see the more this deal stalls, we miss out on other targets also. We have to strengthen at the back. We made a possible an attempt to sign a Monaco player Badiashile from for a 25 million fee, but the bid was rejected. Now Monaco is looking for more out of us, as is every other club from Manchester United. Also, we have other targets like Donny van de Beek, and we have our keeper back from Sheffield, Dean Henderson. He has signed a 5-year contract. That's a very good sign for Manchester United. He'll be competing with David De Gea for the number one spot. It'll be a very good competition. So yeah, looking for this Sancho saga to end somewhere to get a closure, and then look for backups, which also include the names of Douglas Costa from Juventus, Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona, Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich. These are very huge names, but let's see how much do we, how much business do we do this year.
I think I would conclude by saying that it's the same story every year, as you mentioned it in the very beginning. Yes, this is actually United for you all. So Noam, I think Liverpool lifting the trophy and the champion. So I think how is Klopp managing and trying to get into the transfer market from your perspective?
Well, I believe Jurgen Klopp and the entire financial team of Liverpool Football Club have been really dormant this season in the transfer market. We haven't seen any major big signing as such. We saw the arrival of Takumi Minamino in the winter as a winter signing, but I believe Klopp is more focused right now to bring in understudies for the first team players, for the major first team players. Like he brought in Minamino as an understudy for Roberto Firmino, and then he's brought in the latest signing, the first senior signing in the summer window was Kostas Tsimikas, who he brought in from Olympiacos, the Greek club, for around a fee of 9 or 10 million. So I don't think Klopp is looking to spend big this summer. He's just wanting to bring in some academy players also. We saw in the likes of Nico Williams as an understudy for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then Curtis Jr. also started playing games. He's been given the way through for the first team. So I don't think he'll be spending anything big this summer until unless some players have decided to leave Liverpool. Like Origi has been linked with several other clubs as a move away from Liverpool. After the arrival of Ronald Koeman in Barcelona, Gini Wijnaldum has been heavily linked with Barcelona as his contract is expiring next year, and any renewal is not being seen. So I don't think until unless any player moves away, any new players coming in, the Champions League winners Bayern Munich, a player, their midfielder Thiago Alcantara has been heavily linked with Liverpool again. I guess I've heard the news that many reports have been suggested that the personal agreements have been agreed, but no official contract has been yet made or deals forwarded to Bayern Munich. So we'll have to wait and see what the transfer brings for Liverpool. But I'll say they'll remain silent this time.
I think that is something which Klopp might have put his brain upon while deciding the next season. All right. So guys, thank you for putting light upon the Premier League transfers. I would like to, before moving on to one of the biggest hot topics as of now, Messi, rolling out Messi from Barcelona, I think we should give some light upon other transfers in the market going on. So yes, any important transfer that you guys might be following, you guys might be heard of speculations of some good transfers. So yes, today I would start with you. Any perspective upon some other followings that might have struck you? So
yeah, interestingly, Arsenal is again in the market for another attacking player, and they signed Willian. I don't see the logic behind it, but a very good signing, a very good player, a seasoned campaigner. But yeah, also Gabriel Magalhaes is a player that will soon be an Arsenal player. Mikel Arteta said that we are following that player for a very long time, and we hope that this deal goes over the line. And similarly, for Leicester City, you see that Ben Chilwell has left, and they might be recruiting another left back. And but good news for Leicester is that James Maddison has signed a new contract, so he'll be staying with them. And yeah, Manchester City, as usual, they've signed two players, Ferran Torres and Nathan Ake. They're also going strong. Possible Messi transfer, but yeah, arguably and debatably. And yeah, Leeds also have signed a striker in the likes of Rodrigo. 30 million signing, quite a lot of money, but yeah, Marcelo Bielsa is a fan of that striker, so yeah, makes sense. Also, Bulls are losing out on Matt Doherty, possibly to Tottenham. So they'll also be in the market for a new right back. So yeah, nice pitch.
I think you would like to put some perspective over the global transfers you've been following out there.
I heard like if we talk about Germany, we see Bayern Munich signing Leroy Sané. It's an old news, but obviously what we think is like Bayern Munich don't need any upgradation or any new player in their side because they're completely the best, and their starting 11 is very furious, very strong, and so I don't think Bayern Munich will be that much active during this transfer window. Plus, Leroy Sané will be quite beneficial for the Bayern Munich side as well because he can play left winger or a midfield position or a somewhat right position. So it will be Bayern Munich's call where they want him to play, where they test him, where they want to fetch the best results. So that's what it shows that Bayern Munich will do. Also, I have seen that Perisic and Coutinho's contract have been come to an end, and let's see what they do in the future. Most probably Coutinho will be back to Barcelona, and so yeah. And another which I've heard was from Dortmund. They signed Thomas Meunier and Jude Bellingham. So yeah, these were the hottest transfers from Germany that I've heard of.
Yes, right. All right. Now moving on to you. Like you have some following transfers that you've been targeting as of now. Any on the list?
Yeah, well, as Ray mentioned earlier that Matt Doherty is leaving Wolves for Tottenham. That deal has been done, and Tottenham has signed, along with Matt Doherty from Wolves, they have also signed Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg from Southampton. So even Jose Mourinho is undergoing a rebuild at the Tottenham club. So he's bringing new players. We saw the arrival of Steven Bergwijn also. And then Diego Costa is also being linked to a move towards Tottenham. And just as Tottenham are undergoing this rebuild, even Everton are doing the same. Carlo Ancelotti has been trying to bring in James Rodriguez from Real Madrid this summer to Everton for a fee of around 30 million. And being an ex-manager of Real Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti himself, he knows James Rodriguez as a great player. So that will be a great boost for the Everton side, and that's more or less from my side from the EPL transfer list.
Yeah, so I think we've discussed majorly every part of Europe, discussing about the important transfers. I think many of them have been. Yes.
Inter Milan is also looking for a good midfielder. So they are putting their bids on Chelsea's N'Golo Kante or Barca's Vidal. So they are looking for a midfielder at this point of time. I just read the article. So yeah, they'll be looking out for N'Golo Kante, but I don't think so it would be for them to sign N'Golo Kante because Kante is like a proper backbone for Chelsea, and they won't let it go so easily. So yeah, that's
also Juventus also getting the new manager Pirlo with them. Yeah, so that is also a very exciting time for Juventus fans. Getting a former player.
Getting a club legend is always good for the club.
Yeah, keeping hold of Ronaldo was also a boost for the club. Yeah, so exciting times at Juventus also.
Yeah, Pirlo has been brought into Juventus to rebuild the club again. Like he's more focused on emitting the players from the current squad. Like we'll see Gonzalo Higuain leave Juventus, then Blaise Matuidi is also left for Inter Miami. Along with I've heard that even Aaron Ramsey is also leaving Juventus this summer. So the team is the entire club is going under rebuild, and just like that, even Inter Milan also, there are many links. Conte agreed for another 1 year, and they brought in Ashraf Hakimi as a left back. He's a great player, and then Alexander Kolarov has also agreed a deal with Inter. So yeah, and the next part of Milan, that is AC Milan, Zlatan is also renewed his contract for another year. So that's more or less from the Serie A this side also. They have also been busy this time in the transfer market a lot.
Right. So to keep this video on time, I think we should move on to the best topic that's been going on to the market, and I think without discussing it would be injustice for this video as well. So yes, news last week, that was an outbreak for everybody, that Messi has agreed to leave the club, and this is something which every club is targeting, perhaps because we all know it's Messi, but not everybody is capable in terms of finance. And so yes, guys, I think we should discuss a quick discussion about how, in which team do you see Messi playing in the next season, right? I think Shrey, or I think Hardik can start. Yes, Hardik.
Well, thinking about Messi and Ronaldo, we can say that there are only few clubs who can afford these two players. Only if they decide to let down their wages or their transfer exit clause. So yeah, what I can see that after seeing Ronaldo going just for 100 million to Juventus, anything is possible for Messi as well. He can depart, but most probably he's linked with Manchester City, with his old manager Pep Guardiola, and like they have worked together. They have like worked so well, the tiki-taka style, and the when he was in Barcelona, getting all the major trophies. So yeah, Pep Guardiola knows how to play Messi, and Messi is also quite comfortable under him. So I guess Manchester City are quite a lot favorites where he can go. But obviously, clubs will not stop bidding on him. Most of the clubs have bid on him. So, but I think Manchester City, and if Manchester City signs Messi, like it will be very crucial for Liverpool. And like Liverpool and City will go just hand in hand. It will be a tough competition for both the teams. Like if we see currently Liverpool is like outstanding. Liverpool outperforms every team. But once Messi comes in EPL, I think so it will be City's way all the time. I hope so.
Right. And yes, so I think you started conversation about Liverpool, so I would give Noam a final chance to speak about Messi. So Noam, yes. So how do you see? Where do you see actually Messi going in the next season?
Well, I believe Messi's transfer won't be that easy. As per the clubs, they say that he was a free agent only until June, and that he has a release clause of about 700 million. So that's a huge amount, and I don't expect any club to just spend it like that. But yeah, there are possibilities of Messi coming to EPL. It will be a treat to us as Premier League followers to watch Messi play in the Premier League. He's been in La Liga, but nobody wants to see La Liga week in week out, until unless it's Clasico or some big matches. So it will be a treat. Yes, no chance of Lionel Messi coming to Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp denied. We don't have the finances as of now. So Manchester City are the favorites to sign Lionel Messi, and it will be a treat. Yeah, it will be very difficult to stop. Manchester City, as of now, are a very good side, and adding Lionel Messi, the best player currently, will give them 110 out of 100. So it will be very difficult. We'll see what we can do.
Shrey, I won't be able to listen to your words. I'll send you a toffee for this. So I think we have finally concluded this transfer discussion because we've been running short of time.
Just a second. I'll just take 2 minutes. But there's something fishy about
Coffee is cancelled as of now.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll take that. But yeah, in terms of finances, only PSG and City can afford this player. Obviously, that is quite evident. But I see, as of we hear this news every year that Messi wants to be Barcelona. Messi wants to be Barcelona. After Roma's defeat, after Liverpool's defeat, after this year's Bayern Munich's defeat. But all of those players have the structural problems with the club in terms of structure. So I see another angle to this speculation. Hopefully, Bartomeu resigns and they somehow convince Messi to stay. That is also a possibility. So at the end of the day, Messi again stays at Barcelona, and all the such drama, it remains drama only. But yeah, that can also be an end to it.
Yes, Shrey is absolutely right. Barcelona, I believe the entire problem is with the Barcelona's board. They, they're
Board,
very
exactly.
confused as to how to go ahead in the transfer market as well. They brought in Antoine Griezmann from Atletico Madrid last year for a transfer fee of about more than 100 million euros. And now they are again contacting Atletico Madrid for a swap deal for Joao Felix. So that's an
Absolutely joke of a club.
absurd transfer,
Absolutely.
whatever they are doing. So they're really confused, and I guess that's the major reason what's pissing Lionel Messi off, and that's the major reason why he wants to move away from the club. Seeing how the senior players are being treated, all the blame of the downfall of the club have been put on them. Suarez not being treated nice. Rakitic is going away. Rakitic has been linked to Sevilla, back to Sevilla, his former club. Even he's agreed a pay cut to transfer, and then Busquets is also being. So I think that's the major problem why Lionel Messi wants to move away because of the absurd decisions of the board. So yeah, that's the main problem.
I think it will be a celebration day for the club when any club possibly signs Messi and he'll be on the ground with other players. So thank you all for sharing your beautiful insights about the transfer. I think this is some important news that every fan is basically focusing at this point of time when we have like approximately 2 weeks for the new season in each league to start. So yes, I think we'll be looking forward to Messi's transfer majorly and our favorite club transfer as well. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for putting forward such a great show. We'll be back soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.